Good day, everyone. I'm Miss Anita Andrews. Today, I stand before you to speak on a very powerful theme: voices of change. Every generation is remembered for something. Some are remembered for wars, some are remembered for invention, some are remembered for great leaders. But the generation who truly shaped the course of history are remembered because ordinary men and women found courage to be heard. Choice doesn't start with government. Joy, choice doesn't start with wealth. Choice starts with a voice, and that voice can be yours. A voice is not only a song, a voice is nationality, a voice is bravery, a voice is resistance, a voice is being unwilling to be silent in a situation of injustice and inequality. Ever since the beginning of time, the path of change was paved by a voice. When Martin Luther King announced to the population, I quote, "I have a dream," end of quote, he wasn't softly ruffling his words. He was yelling it in front of a nation that were torn in half. He was the first step to the civil rights revolution when Mala Yusufin was standing for freedom. It was even torn from her after she had been attacked. Her voice echoed in the ear of the world. She therefore demonstrated that not necessarily known how oldest know how to lead when youngest cannot. When Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, was fighting the party regime, he was using his voice to pitch forgiveness. They all weren't powerful at the beginning. They actually become powerful because of their voices. Being being a voice of change doesn't mean you have to be famous. It doesn't mean you have to speak in front of thousands. It means you have to choose to speak truth when it most needed. Change can be represented by four of the most significant areas of life. Number one, change in education. Change in education can be changing factors for many people, but many, but there are many students who face hardship such as shorta- shortage of financial resources, lack of lack of access to facilities. Voice of change in education can be seen in the students he or when faced with okay sorry who help his or her classmates to understand difficult topics. It can also be observed when a teacher still seek new ways of educating when faced with a difficult student. It can it can be observed when parents voice a request to their child's school for providing better facilities. Change does not mean you ha- Change doesn't always mean doing the impossible, it simply means joining in. Number two, change in society. We live in a society with many specific issues, such as inequality, poverty, violence, and global warming. Many people speak out about these issues, but Voice of Change doesn't simply speak, they try to fix them. Young people are spearheading the fight against global warming. Students are raising awareness uh, on mental health. Communities, local communities, are fighting for social equity. Ever since someone say, every time someone say, I quote, this is a problem, end of quote, and to ignore it, he or she is being voice of change. Number three, change in ourselves. Maybe most crucial change in the change that is being done in ourselves it is it is where we may also find some of the most vibrant voices of change. When we choose to end a cycle of violence and suppress hate, when we elect to stop our addiction to laziness and choose to work hard, we are work hard. When we oath for goodness instead of weakness, when we decide decide to eliminate excuse and instill effort. Every time you change your routine and bring a good and positive impact into our lives, into your own lives. Sorry, you are changing for good. Number four, know the danger of silence. Silence is a comfortable. It's Silence can be comfortable. It feels safe. When we stay silent, we avoid criticism, we avoid conflicts. But silence can also be dangerous. It also, if one has spoke one, if no one has spoken against injustice in history, discrimination would still be a law in many places. If no one has been, no one speaks against bullyism, it continues. If no one questions corruption, it grows. A silent society cannot progress. We must ask ourselves, are we silent observers or active participants? In summary, the world doesn't need more spectators. It needs players. It needs students who cares. It needs citizens who act. It needs leaders who listen. It needs voices. There, there's the question: is the world going to get this kind of change, or are you going to be a part of it? Are you going to be one who stay quiet when see wrong? Or are you going to be a part of it? Or are you going to be the one who speak up? Because someone somewhere in your community or school or country is waiting for a voice. Why should why should it be yours? Be the voice that heal injustice. Be the voice that demand hope. Be the voice that promote comfort. Be the voice that inspired action. Let the word be the reason. Your voice can make a difference. Thank you.